Welcome back to Punk Rock Radar. Today, we're going to get spooky with it. So sit back and hold tight as we kick this off.
What's up, everybody? Like Matt said, we're getting a little spooky today. It is a Friday night. It is October 21st. Just had a long day of work. So did Matt. So we're going to just do a nice little casual sit down, talk about our favorite horror punk bands, horror punk albums, horror punk songs. No tier list, no rankings, just taking it easy, talking horror punk. So Matt, how do you feel about that?
Good, man. I'm excited to do this. I definitely love the horror genre of music. So either like horror punk or psychobilly rock, or even like death folk music I've been getting into. So yeah, dude, I'm excited for this. So like when we say horror punk, it's just not like, Misfits and stuff like that. It may be a little different along like the psychobilly rock or like some folk music for myself, at least.
And just so you guys know, this is a lot more Matt's thing than my thing. I have the Misfits on my list. I'm not as well versed in horror punk as Matt is. But Matt, I'll let you talk about your first one. But I want to ask you, what is your favorite horror franchise, like movie franchise?
Oh, easy. Like Halloween, man. I think like Michael Myers is just, to me, he's the ultimate slasher kind of killer, is Michael Myers in Halloween. I think he's better than Jason. He's better than Freddy. I feel like he is the S tier of killers in horror movies.
I've always been a Friday the 13th fan, but I like Halloween, but I feel like there's such a drop off on those middle movies. I think you could say that for Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street too. There's those weird middle ones, but my favorite is one that I didn't get into until like a little bit later, was the Sleepaway Camp movies. I think there's four of them, but like the first two especially are really, really good. I watch those every year.
I thought you were going to say Leprechaun.
I love Leprechaun too. I've got the box. I don't know if you're joking, but I've got the box set downstairs. I love those movies.
I know you. Yeah, I know you do.
All right, but let's get into it, Matt. What is your first band, song, album? What are we talking about?
Yeah. So the first band, I'm kind of tiptoeing my way into this. So I'm going to start with one, Tiger Army. Actually, I'm gonna pull up Tiger Army. Some may not consider them really horror, but their earlier stuff I do. So I think Tiger Army is a great gateway into this genre. I feel like I just think they're an amazing band. Probably one of the best vocals from Nick 13. I would say, and Power of Moonlight, Tiger Army, Ghost Tigers, Rise. I mean, all those albums are great. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Tiger Army, John. That's one of my favorites, and I feel like Tiger Army helped me kind of veer out more and kind of discover more bands through listening to Tiger Army.
So yeah, I've definitely heard of Tiger Army, and I've heard of like a few of their songs. Where would you say, for people who haven't, like what album is a good start point?
What album is a good start point for Tiger Army? I would say the 1999 one, Tiger Army, is good. Like, the self-titled one. So I would go like Tiger Army, Power of Moonlight, and then Ghost Tigers Rise. I feel like those three are great to start off with. Those three I would start off with, and then kind of go into some other ones.
All right, cool.
Death is good, life is love.
All right, cool. Well, I'll get into mine first, and I'm gonna go. My favorite horror punk band, and I know you know these guys.
Yep.
I want to do the tier list this month if we have time, but I've been into Calabrese now for maybe 15 years or so. To me, they do the Misfits better than the Misfits. I don't know if that's blasphemy or not, but some of these albums are just so good. The only one I don't really care for is this last EP they just put out, but like everything before this, my favorite being this one here, the Traveling Vampire Show. If you haven't heard this album, this is my recommended start point for you. And my favorite tracks are going to be the bookends, Death Eternal and House of Mysterious Secrets. That's probably the clip I'm going to play. But like even now, or 2019, Flee the Light. This was in my top 10 albums of the year. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs from this on my playlist. This one's like a little bit more like slow, heavy. Maybe like doom stoner rock, a little influence here and there, but it's still like a really, really good record, perfect for Halloween. Literally all their stuff is. But
Yeah, what's that one? Is it Dayglow Necros or whatever it's called, or what is it?
yeah,
That
this one
there,
right
yeah.
here.
Yeah, that I think that's a solid. That's my favorite album by them. Yeah.
Dude, the album art and their merch alone are worth it. But yeah, Heart Possession
yeah.
from this one's solid.
Yeah, Heart Possession. I mean, yeah, Ghost Wolves. I mean, this whole album, yeah, is sick. But yeah, I definitely feel you with this one. That's why I didn't add them, because I knew you were gonna have this one. So I was like, let me not put this one on my list.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know Calabrese, like just take a look at this band photo here.
Yeah.
And this is a Halloween horror punk year round. I listen to these guys, but if you don't know Calabrese, definitely go check them out. That's my pick. That's my favorite horror punk band. But Matt, what do you got next for us?
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna. That's your favorite. So I was saving my favorite for last, so I'm not gonna do them yet. So I'm gonna do the Coffin Cats, and it's spelled with K's.
I've heard of this band, but I don't know anything really about them.
Yeah, so Coffin Cat, I would say, is more psychobilly, and I feel like psychobilly has some of the best, if you want like horror kind of styles, that psychobilly horror rock. So the Coffin Cats are great if you're into like that psychobilly vibe. Some of the songs I love is like Graveyard Tree, The Bottle Call, Chainsaw Massacre. There is great bands. Albums that I would recommend to get into is probably the 2004 Coffin Cats. Our Way and The Highway is another great one. So I feel like all their albums, Born of the Motor, those are some great albums to get into. But I would probably start with the self-titled in 2004. I think their first one is the Coffin Cats right there. And then probably go to like, a later one, 2012, Our Way, The Highway. But yeah, if you're into psychobilly, definitely check them out. Some upright bass,
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this album cover before.
Yeah.
That's the one I've seen. But yeah, I'll check them out, and we'll put a clip right after this. But Matt, my next one, I'm jumping around because I've got two bands kind of in two albums. So I just did a band, so I'm gonna go album. And I know that a lot of people are gonna say this isn't horror punk and this isn't a horror punk band, but first of all, why am I not following them? One of my favorite albums of the last 5 years is this one here, Stella Sapiente by the Lillingtons. And to me, this is horror punk. It's all about occult and esoteric stuff, and the album cover is black and gray, which is always good for horror punk. But the whole album's got like a real creepy vibe. I really, really like this album. I think it's perfect for October. All the Lillingtons albums are good, but this one, to me, it definitely stands apart from the rest. And I think you can really listen to this all the way through. My favorite tracks, I like K6 and I like Villagers. I'm going to play one of those two. I haven't decided yet. But if you want to put something on and just have it play in the background while you're doing stuff around the house, this is just a really interesting album to get into the spooky season. So, Matt, I don't know. Are you a Lillingtons fan? Lillingtons guy?
So I'm definitely, I always hear you talk about them, and I think I'm going to check out this album. So I am going to check out this album. I'm going to sit down and listen to this probably this weekend. And I'm excited now to have a new band to listen to.
Dude, just start it straight from the beginning. I think you'll like it. It's just weird enough where I think it'll be your thing.
I like that.
My will be done in the pursuit of pleasure, a black celebration on for me.
All right, what do we got up next from you?
All right, I'm going with one of my favorites, the Necromantics. You can't leave this band out for that horror, psychobilly kind of style. Just a great band. I think everyone knows that one song from them, Who Killed the Cheerleader. I think everyone heard that song, and then, they just, like, well, let me hear more from this band. I mean, like, I think my favorite album from them actually is Life's a Grave, and I dig it. And then the best song on that album is Life's a Grave, and I dig it. Rotten Hell. But yeah, they're another kind of psychobilly kind of upright bass style of band. I think it's a 3-piece band. And yeah, they're the perfect music to get ready for Halloween, I feel like. Just the right amount of spookiness and murderous kind of stuff in it to get you ready.
All right, I just decided now, Matt, we're gonna make a companion playlist for this video. We'll drop it down below so that because I want to hear these bands. Like I've seen this album cover so many times over the years. I just never listened to this band. Are they on Hellcat? Like I feel like they've been on or Epitaph.
I would have to look. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I feel like they were on Give 'Em the Boot or something. That's probably where I would have heard it. But yeah,
you probably heard Who Killed the Cheerleader off Give 'Em the Boot, I believe. One of the volumes.
All right. So after we finish recording, Matt and I are going to pick a few songs from each of these, and I'll put a link down below so you guys could check them all out in one spot. But Matt, I'm going generic here. I'm going the Misfits, but I'm going Collection 2, which I think is the best, your best bet for getting the best Misfits songs. This is one that we didn't rank on our list because we didn't do compilations. Yeah. But for me, this is a great starting point for the Misfits. Like my personal first CD was Legacy of Brutality. I think that was like the only one I owned like into my 20s, but eventually I did get this one. I mean, it's got all the classics. It's got Last Caress. It's got Halloween, which is very important. For
Attitude. We Are 138. I mean, Return of the Fly.
This is the album, right, Matt?
Yeah. This is, I mean, if you were going to get into the Misfits, I would say don't buy any album but this and only listen to this and you'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah, I had to put the Misfits on here. I know we just did an entire tier list on them, but like what horror punk tier list or playlist is complete without the Misfits?
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe we'll throw a curveball and we'll play Halloween 2 instead of Halloween.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, what do you got next, man?
Yeah, so the next one is, as I'm sticking to a theme here, that psychobilly kind of stuff. The next one I'm doing is The Brains. I think The Brains are the best ones doing the psychobilly style of horror. Just a great band. Another 3-piece band, so you're going to have, I believe, the upright bass and so on. But yeah. So I mean that Drunk, what I believe is Drunk Not Dead. That second album right there, John. Yeah, that's to me that's my favorite one. I'm Your Nightmare is a great song. The Monster Within, Out in the Dark. To me, they're probably the best band doing this kind of style right now, as far as like that psychobilly horror going.
I've never heard of these guys, man. I'll be honest, but
yeah, check them out. I think you'll like them, especially like that album's a great album right there.
This one's got like that album art is badass.
Yeah.
That makes me want to, but yeah, I'll get your picks after this. And I'll check definitely. It out. But it looks killer, and I've never heard of these guys. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna go, and this is I didn't plan on featuring the merch in our last video, and this is completely unsponsored. This was gonna be one of my picks before we even did a partnership with the clothing company.
Okay,
but Batshit Crazy, man, only 47 monthly listeners. This is one of my favorite horror punk albums of the last few years, and when they first messaged me last year, I was expecting this band to like really blow up, like so much. Like the horror aesthetic is so big on Instagram and Etsy and all those sites. You would just expect like a band that did it so well to blow up. But like I said, 47 monthly listeners, and I'm looking. My favorite track on here is this one here with 25,000 plays. So I guess I'm not alone. Such a waste of good suffering. But this band, they share members with Bullet Treatment. I believe it's the same vocalist. So just think of like Bullet Treatment with like horror themed lyrics, that's pretty much what you're gonna get. Like a little bit slower, a little more like rock. So
wow.
definitely check this out. Matt, have you heard this one at all? I know we talked about Batshit Crazy a little bit, but I don't know if we listened to it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. That's another one I'm typing in now to make sure I check them out and listen to it.
Yeah, other songs, No Solution is good, and The Man Who Was Death. Those will be my other picks. We'll put them on the playlist. But Matt, is this the last one for you? Or
Yeah, this is the last one. So to me, I saved the best for the last. To me, this band does the horror genre the best in my mind. And is also fronted by a female singer. So I think she probably has one of the best female voices right now in the scene, I would say. And that's going to be the Bridge City Sinners. So, yeah, they're the best ones doing that kind of horror music. I guess they consider themselves kind of like death folk music. So it's folk music, but, as you can see by the song titles, it's kind of that horror, kind of death kind of style. So they're my favorite band right now. Here's to the Devil, Through and Through, The Devil's Swing, St. James Infirmary. The list goes on. Witch's Wrath, Song of the Siren. So I think I have every song I just have liked on here for them. So they're my favorite band as of right now, and they're probably the best kind of death/horror band in my mind. And I would say the singer, she has probably the best vocals for this style.
This is another band you've told me to listen to so many times.
You have to.
I've never listened to it. So what album? What do you say the best, like most accessible album is?
Okay, so I think it would be their second one. So that's going to be, I think, Here's to the Devil. Here's to the Devil's a good one. So Song of the Siren, Through and Through. Yeah, I would say Here's to the Devil is probably the best one to get started with.
And if you guys like them, it looks like they're playing the Satanic Orgy USA 2022 in Salt Lake City. It sounds like a great time. Bring the family. Go see Bridge City Sinners. But Matt, I'm going generic again with mine and I wanted to talk to you about this because I feel like once a band gets very big, regardless of like subject matter or how they look, they're like no longer horror punk. I feel like that's happened to Alkaline Trio, and I'm not picking Alkaline Trio, but the first few Alkaline Trio albums, like all the way up to like Good Morning, like I don't know how you don't consider them at least a little bit horror punk. And then the same thing can be said with the band I am picking, which is AFI, who I don't think anybody considers horror punk anymore. But the album, I'm picking is the All Hallows EP.
Classic. You have to. You have to pick that one. And
just look at that album cover. Like if this isn't horror punk, like if this isn't Halloween. Like what says like October like more than this? Like you'd have to get like a girl dressed in all black walking into Spirit Halloween with a Starbucks cup. Like this is about as October as it gets. I've got all 4 songs on my playlist. I mean, we've got the Misfits cover, which is way better than the Misfits version of Halloween. Mm-hmm. You've got Total Immortal, which is probably my favorite AFI song. And if you haven't heard the Offspring's version and the Idle Hands movie, go check that out. And then Fall Children, The Boy Who Destroyed the World, 2 other top 10 AFI songs. So like this is a no-brainer regardless of your feelings of AFI, right, Matt? Like this is a great record.
So as you know, I love AFI. Well, I love older AFI, and some people said we were dumb for not understanding their newer style, but I still don't like their new style. You can call me dumb or a music illiterate, but their older stuff is where it's at for AFI. And this album, I feel like just like this album, this EP, in my mind, is better than any newer album in the last 5 years, 6 years by them.
Oh yeah, in the last 15 years, probably.
Yeah.
Going on 20 years. Yeah.
This is like if you want to get into AFI, I would definitely start with this album and then work into maybe Black Sails, The Art of Drowning. And then if you're feeling them, go into their older stuff then. So that's like Answer That, Stay Fashionable, Very Proud of You, Shut Your Mouth. So yeah, so this is a great starting point. If you're looking to get into horror kind of punk, this is a great album to start with, and then work your way through kind of the earlier stuff of AFI, maybe from 99, 2000. I think this one came out in 99 as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a solid pick, John. Solid pick.
All right, guys. So those are our picks for horror punk bands, album songs, whatever you want to call it. Now, was there any band that like you were like considering, but it didn't make the cut?
Yeah, so I have a few. I have a band called The Crewmen with a K. They're on Spotify. Older band. They've been doing it for a while now. So they're kind of psychobilly, kind of, I would say. So they've been doing this for a while. The Crewmen are an older band. So I was going to put them on, but I decided not to. And then another one I really wanted to put on, and they're not on Spotify. It's a shame. It's called Zombie Ghost Train. So they're considered, or they call themselves a gothbilly kind of style band. You're not going to find them on Spotify. Well, there's okay. So
It's
they
a
have
playlist. Yeah, someone made a playlist.
So it's a playlist. But Zombie Ghost Train, is another great band if you want to get into kind of that horror goth punk style music. Definitely check them out.
Never heard of these guys either. See, the only ones that didn't make the cut for me, Wednesday 13, I think is a pretty good band, like another entry level band. And I'm like missing the other one I was gonna say. I had it at the tip of my tongue because I posted like who are the best horror punk bands, and somebody said it, and I was like, oh yeah,
Horror Pops.
No, not Horror Pop. That's what I thought you were gonna say when you said Bridge City Sinners, but no, it's just escaping me. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. I'll put a link down below with the Spotify playlist of our favorite horror punk tracks. So make sure you go and check that out. Matt, what do you think? You think you're up for Calabrese tier list? Nice quick one, maybe next week.
Yeah, I can definitely make that work, man. I think I have some vacation time. I think I'm off for a week.
Right.
So I think I can make that work.
All right, guys. So there you heard it. The next video is gonna be Calabrese. Then we've got a Screeching Weasel after that. So make sure you subscribe, like whatever else everyone else tells you to do, just do it. And that's gonna wrap it up. Matt, anything else you want to say before we say trick or treat or goodbye?
Yeah, happy Halloween, and make sure you check your candy for no razor blades in them.
Wise words. All right. All right. See you guys later.